self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are Conversation Con Artists.
What's going on, people? It's your boy, Mr. On Point.
And I am going to need y'all to go check out Tents by Anderson .Paak featuring Kendrick Lamar. Mm-hmm. Like window tint.
Not like anxious.
Not tense. Tents.
You said the same shit.
It's tents, not tense.
You just said the same shit twice again.
I'm not saying it's tense, not tense.
I hope y'all hearing this shit too. I don't know. Either I can't hear right.
It sounds
or
different
she thinks she said it right. No,
in my head it
you
sounds
said
different.
the same shit back to back, like Drake.
Window tint, like on your windows, that kind of tint.
Okay,
it's a really good song.
It's another tent too.
Like pitching a tent, like that you sleep in.
Yeah,
or you go camping.
Or like the ones that you, like the ones that people in concentration camps live in.
Why would that be your example? Jesus.
Because if it was anything anymore, fucking normal, I wouldn't be me. I gotta practice to be normal. Like when we having a conversation about sex, for me to be docile, I'm not being me. Then somebody else. I'm not normal. Odd at best.
Well, that's what makes us Conversation Con Artists.
Is it?
I guess.
I don't know.
I think we're both weird.
Yeah. We are. But welcome to the show. Another wonderful, fantastic, fantabulous episode. My name is Mr. On Point. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. MISTER _ on point.
You sound like you're campaigning.
Campaigning?
You just sound like somebody that one of them quiet ass commercials.
If I was campaigning, I'd campaign like a preacher.
Oh God!
My name is Mr. MISTER _ on point. Can you say it with me? On Instagram, on Twitter. You know how they get to the end of the. This is what they do after they say, "I'm finna wrap it up."
Oh yeah.
As soon as they say I'm finna wrap it up, then they get into what is considered hooping and hollering. That's what that shit is called, if you didn't know.
Well, I can be found at red _ calamity.
If she sounds weird, it's because she is eating some nuts.
I just don't like how you say that.
Am I lying?
I'm eating pistachios.
Which are what? Some nuts.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at red _ calamity. Also, we are still doing the listener letter portion of the show. So if you have a question you would like for us to answer on the show, you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartists@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook, Conversation Con Artists, and send it to us that way.
She even got nuts in her hand.
I have shells in my hand. I actually need to throw these away.
Oh.
I just hold them for right now.
No, get one of them pieces of paper and just put it over there.
Put it over where?
Yeah, put it on one of those.
What? I ain't even gonna ask.
Coupon. My couch got a bunch of coupons laid across it because it's November, which means Thanksgiving sales have started, which means if I start shopping early, I can save a bunch of money versus waiting until Thanksgiving.
True.
So I got to get this shit going early this year.
I have a scenario. Well, before I get to them. I did this before with you to see if you would be willing to eat these things, these weird foods. Mm-hmm. Would you purchase and eat jerk chicken from a can?
Jerk chicken from a can? Hell no. The only meat I eat from a can is tuna and salmon.
Okay, so no jerk chicken.
Hell no. Do it got bones in it?
That I don't know. I don't think so.
Hell no. It's very little shit I trust in a can, man.
And it's new. It has new, so it's the new thing.
It got
to try.
preservatives in it.
Yeah, it got to in order for it to be canned.
I don't want my meat preserved.
Okay, and now
I wish I found out a nigga was serving me some jerk chicken out of a can. You know, like, you don't know if you go into a little function or something, man.
yeah, you don't know where the
It can
chicken came
possibly
from.
look good. You know what I'm saying? Spray
Yeah.
some little garnishes on that junk. Be like, ooh, this look good. What is this? Bruh, that jerk chicken out of can. Nigga, you 2 seconds away from these paws being put on your ass. Eat no damn meat out no can. And I don't trust the quality standards of companies that put things in cans generally. Like,
You know,
I
you
feel,
could buy a whole chicken in a can. That's a thing.
I've seen
Have
it.
you seen it?
Yeah, I ain't never opened it and
I saw somebody open one on YouTube. It looked
just imagine how it slop out of the can.
That's what I'm saying. If you go on YouTube, you can see it slop out the can. It's disgusting. It's so gross. Y'all should YouTube that. It's whole chicken in a can. It's so
I just
gross.
imagine a company that is making this. Like, let's take Bluebell for instance.
Mm-hmm.
They had Listeria or something. Imagine the man who is fucking over that whole batch washing or mixing, and an employee fuck around and put like some cleaning solution in there or something. A little bit. You think they gonna really get rid of that whole batch? Mm-mm. No, they just gonna send that shit out and they work that shit out on the back end. If people get sick and they can, by evidence, connect that sickness to our shit, then we'll deal with it back then. But we not finna throw away this $20,000 batch.
Yep.
Because of your ignorant ass.
Canned meat is just weird in general.
But I feel like when you can it, I feel like that shit like, what does a mistake in a place like that look like? Like, there was some recalls for like metal shavings being in some cans not long ago. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of the things I fear the most is glass. Like, drinking glass.
Ugh.
Because it will fuck your insides the fuck up.
Yeah.
And this is why when you at a bar, if you ever see a glass fall and break around the ice, if they don't melt all that ice and refill it, you just need to get the fuck out of there. Or you need to let the manager know. Because that is the first step. Because I was back there when glass broke all the time. And the glass breaking is the worst shit ever. If it break like, because sometimes it'll fall to the floor, that's different. But if it fall like on the bar and break to where your ice is, that's the worst, because you got to get rid of all of that ice.
Yeah, because you ain't gonna be able to tell the difference between the ice and the damn
Exactly.
glass.
And the worst thing you could do is have somebody drink glass, because it will fuck every bit of where it go up all the way to the end.
Whew.
Horrible. Anyway.
So no canned jerk chicken for you.
Hell no. Fuck cans.
So this isn't something that's canned. An Oregon-based ice cream shop called Salt and Straw makes holiday flavored ice cream every year. So I'm gonna go through some of these flavors.
You know what? You said Oregon based, and I thought you was talking about fucking people insides.
Oregon.
I see now. But I knew you were gonna say some wild shit, so I was like, Oregon based? Fuck no, I don't even donate my organs after I die. Fuck, I want to eat somebody else's organs.
No, Oregon. But
Oregon.
because you know that it's Oregon, you know that this is gonna be some foolery, some white.
I don't know nothing
foolery.
about Oregon.
It's white. It's very white.
Okay.
Salted caramel Thanksgiving turkey.
No. You asked me about salted caramel or something last week, didn't you?
Yeah, it wasn't ice cream though. Roasted peach and sage cornbread stuffing.
No.
Roasted cranberry sauce sorbet. This is the only one I could eat. Because
No.
I can't have ice cream. I have sorbet though.
Cranberry sauce is weird.
I don't eat cranberry sauce. I don't like it. I don't get white. We have it at Thanksgiving for other people. I don't eat it. I don't
eat it. I actually make my own. And last year that shit was delicious. I'm just gonna leave it there.
I don't like cranberry
I forgot
sauce.
I made that shit last year. Now I gotta make it again. She was good.
Sweet potato casserole with maple pecans. That doesn't sound bad.
Yeah, that sounds all right. But it's a casserole, so I'm interested in knowing what else is in it. You gotta add other shit to a casserole.
But it's
Otherwise
ice
it's just
cream.
fucking pie.
But it's ice cream.
Oh,
These
that
are
should be
ice
good.
cream
That's
flavors.
right. That's right.
Yeah,
that's
they're
right.
ice cream
That might
flavors.
be good.
Spiced goat cheese and pumpkin pie.
That might be good.
The fuck is spiced goat cheese?
Goat cheese with spices in it. Nigga, everything you put on it is spiced. If you put spices in Kool-Aid, it's spiced Kool-Aid.
Okay. That just said none of that. The sweet potato casserole one is the only one that sounded like I would eat it. Okay, so that's the weird food. So now the situation. This was on Shade Room.
Okay.
And it was a Twitter feed. So, all right, boom. So this thread is about how Michael, she blocked out his last name, but dude name is Michael, stole my bank details and spent over 1,200, is this euros? 1,200 euros of my money to impress his girlfriend, including receipts. Story time, sit tight, I have time today. I was a bit hesitant about exposing Michael as I didn't want my business out like that and I couldn't deal with the stress of it. However, he really took the piss out of my life. Oh yeah, took the piss it's European. So yeah, euros. He really took the piss. That's such a weird saying that they have, to take the piss. It's just weird. That's just a weird phrase. However, he really took the piss out of my life and disrespected me to a whole new level when I was nothing but kind to him. Now, I'm like, fuck this humble, be the better person crap. This is why people feel the need to walk all over me. I'm so over it. I want to make sure he doesn't do this to anyone else. So let's start from the beginning so you can understand how I got myself into this. We hung out for less than 2 months and went on a few dates. It was intense from the beginning. We got along like a house on fire. I had an inkling about some girl who lives in Bristol, but I had no real evidence. I confronted him and he said she's a close friend. My ass was like, seems legit. So we planned a double date with my best friend and her man. We were waiting on him and he calls to tell me he lost his wallet. I had no reason not to trust him at this point and I wasn't ready to be a third wheel. He told me he would pay me back if I sorted him out, so I agreed. And she has like screen caps of these text messages between the two of them where he agreed to pay her. Anyway, that night I paid for everything, our entry, drinks, and food. The total bill came up to like 80 euros, 80 euros plus. This is the night I believe he took my bank details as he did have access to my card, but he gave it back to me, so it was all good. To be honest, this was actually a lit night out. I know this whole idea was so stupid from my part, but he told me he was a director of a company. He didn't need my small money. I genuinely thought he legit lost his wallet. I would have done the same for any of my friends. This is the last night I saw him in person. The day after, he doesn't mention anything about paying me back. That same evening, he goes out and I'm watching him turn up on his Snapchat. So this is the same guy who lost his wallet with no bank card or ID. This is when I knew he was really taking me for a dickhead. I brought up the lost wallet again and still nothing. So I thought, fuck it, I'm going to end this and take the L because my pride is too strong to be arguing about 80 euros with someone who clearly doesn't rate me. Things got weird. Never mentioned the money to him. We ended it that week. Little did I know all of this was premeditated. He staged the whole lost wallet scenario so he could get a hold of my card details. He obviously planned it as the last time I saw him, we were still cool. He had to gain my trust first. He was very convincing. I must applaud him on that. The next day, he changed his profile pic to his close friend picture, and they went on a spa weekend away, all booed up on his Snapchat story. At this point, I realized I got finessed, and I was probably one of the many girls he used. I was mad at how naive I was, but relieved to get out. He blocked me everywhere after that. My girls were fuming and kept telling me I should go to his girlfriend as a woman and blast him. I had to stop them from messaging her on my behalf so many times. It really wasn't that deep for me. I had no desire or the energy to do either. I honestly just wanted peace. I got played by a fuckboy and charged it to the game. To be honest, I was more embarrassed than anything. I just wanted to forget it ever happened. I kept moving and got over the situation. About a month later, I got these suspicious transactions on my bank statement. I thought it was just some random scammer that somehow got a hold of my details. I called my bank and told them they sent me a new card and blocked my old one. This is where it gets interesting. I showed my friend a few days later and she was like, there's a EasyJet payment on here and it has the flight reference on it. She grabbed her phone. A minute later, she gasped and said, what the fuck? Listen, this bitch logged into the EasyJet account with the reference number. I was shook. And there it was, both Michael and his girlfriend's full names with boarding passes, everything. They already checked in. He is taking his girlfriend to Paris on my expense. The audacity. He even booked the hotel and the tourist crowd all on the same day. That's when we went into detective mode. I made a group chat and got my girls on this. They were more pissed than I was. My friend named the group chat Fraud Bay. He bragged about it on the exact same date the money came out of my account. He also booked their hotel and I guess the tour of the Louvre. So there's a part 2, but I won't. That's the bread and butter of it, though. Is that she got super finessed.
I really, really don't care how well you can tell your story. I don't care that you jumped out in front of it. It don't change the fact that you silly as fuck in this situation. This is something you ain't supposed to be telling people. You supposed to get this shit cleared up with your bank and act like it ain't happened.
I guess she feel like she put him on blast.
She wouldn't even put his name out there.
No, she did. Shade Room blocked it out.
Oh, she did. Well,
no, she added him on Twitter.
I think he give a damn. That nigga is a finesser.
And he already in Paris.
But I got a problem with something you said at the very beginning.
Okay.
Did she say got along like a house on fire?
Caught on like a house on fire. Mm-hmm.
Caught on like a house on fire. Oh. I thought it said we got along like a house on fire. I was like, what the fuck that mean? But it's caught on like a house on fire. Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know that. I mean, clearly you don't know what to do about shit like that.
Well, but I would get his ass arrested.
I don't understand how he got her card details. We missing that gap. I think that's what she really stupid at. Like, at what point?
Maybe she gave him her card so that he could pretend to pay so he wouldn't be embarrassed. Because why would he have, if she paying, there would have been no reason for him to ever have access to her card if she's the one that's paying.
That's what I'm saying.
So maybe she let him pretend to pay so he wouldn't be embarrassed. Which is stupid. I ain't finna do that shit.
Man.
And I don't know how much 80 euros is.
If you got somebody with an ego fragile enough to need your money to pay for their shit so they don't look sick, what about internal shit? What about, and the only person that you proving that to is a server, a person that you never see again if you don't want to.
Well, it was a double date with her and her friend.
That was her friend. Her friend already know what's going on.
But maybe he thought she didn't. I don't know.
It don't make sense. You silly. You silly. I ain't gonna say you stupid. I ain't gonna say you dumb. You might have some sense. You might be smart. You know, when it comes to love, when it comes to somebody that you like, you know, some of that sensible, rational shit starts shutting down because you're hoping for something more to come out of it. So maybe ain't nothing wrong with you. You just got finessed.
I'm trying to see if I've ever been finessed. Like, I ain't never been finessed out of no money because I'm broke. But I have been finessed into believing somebody was something that they wasn't. Like, I don't know if you were still at AUM. Did you know the basketball player Jameson?
Uh-huh.
Jameson was like really holy, right? Do you remember that about him? That he was like him and Nate and all that. Jameson was a liar and a thief. He ain't steal from me, but so Jameson was trying to talk to me, and one day he was fussing about his car because somebody had vandalized his car. And I was like, oh man, what happened? And so he said that his ex-girlfriend wrote bitch all over his car. Like, well, she spray painted bitch all over his car. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And he was like, yeah, she said, you know, she think I stole some money from her, but I don't steal and blah, blah, blah. And I know he always talking about God and religion and all of this. So I'm like, okay, well, that's weird, you know. Hopefully you can get your car fixed. What ended up happening is the more I talked to Jameson, the more I realized how it wasn't nothing holy about that nigga at all. That nigga smoked weed.
What they got to do with being holy?
You not gonna put anything in your body like weed if
It's natural. If you can't put weed in your body, how come you can put oregano in your body?
Okay. I'm not gonna do this with you. Not gonna do this with you.
You need a better reason outside of weed.
He also was sleeping with a whole bunch of girls. Like, part of the reason that girl wrote that shit on his car, one, it was because I found out later that he was at her house and stole one of her paychecks and somehow was able to cash it and got the money, and she knew it was him. And he was also out here just out with a whole lot of women, but in your face he presents this like, you know, just gotta pray, and he was like super holy. I never believed that shit about him or Nate. I always felt like Nate was full of shit.
Yeah, you know, Nate's roommate on campus became my roommate at Village. What the place was called we moved into? Village Green. He was my roommate. He was like, Nate had women over there all the time. He was like, yeah, all that stuff is.
He had a harem, cause like all of them. He had my brother. When William moved on campus, like he lived with me for a year. He wouldn't work, so I made him move on campus. And when William moved on campus, he met Nate. And he was like, he said one night, it wasn't his roommate, he was staying in the West. It was some guy that lived in his building, but he smoked weed, and he smoked cigarettes. And he said that Nate and his little harem like formed a prayer circle around this dude, like trying to pray away his smoking spirit. And William called me. You know how William is. He was like, what the fuck? I was like, I don't know. I said, that's Nate. And he could get them girls that, like, they really, I don't think any of them girls believed that he was, I think they just knew that was a way to get in with him. He always had a bunch of women, though, like, following him around and doing, like, Bible study.
The story I remember about Nate is that I used to always have these little barbecues or whatever. Mm-hmm.
At Village Green or on campus?
Not on campus. I mean, okay. I cooked on campus one time, but it smoked up everybody in the dorms. That wasn't a good idea. But I cooked after the apartment. I just cooked and I invited people. Mm-hmm. And Nate was over there. He got a lot of energy.
He does.
And
I think he had ADHD.
And one of my friends from Atlanta was there too. He worked at Red Lobster with me. He was a goon. Okay. Semi-reformed goon, but athlete at Alabama State, a goon nonetheless. And
he was an athlete at State?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
His name was Abdul. And
okay.
Nate kept calling him Abdul Rashid for some reason. And after about the fifth time of him, like, my homeboy brushed it off the first time. The second time it was like, that ain't my name. The third time it was like, you being disrespectful. The fourth time it was like, he came to me and said, Eddie, I'm about to put some hands on your boy if you call me that shit again. And I went to Nate and I said, Nate, don't call him that no more. And Nate went to him and apologized, you know what I'm saying? And said, I'm sorry, my bad, man. It clearly wasn't genuine. Mm-mm. But, you know, Nate tried to play off that genuine,
so
positive
good,
energy
so
thing
nice.
Situation. Mm-hmm. Nothing against Nate, but, you know, it is what it fucking is.
He was just very fake to me. And it was annoying. Like, nigga, sit down. We in college. Shut the fuck up. Get away from me.
You know, a lot of people that you meet in college, are just extensions of those people who the high school was their best years, where they just was that popular dude.
That was Nate.
That shit extends over to college for a lot of people, and it's normally the athletes. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? The culture is such that they can live a life like a campus celebrity when they playing for the team, even though your team don't win shit ever.
Even at AUM, like, it's AUM. You play at AUM, my nigga. Like, you're not even at a top tier school.
Listen, y'all. Let me tell y'all this. Let me tell y'all something. The mascot for AUM
when we were there
was the Senators.
And it was a fucking turquoise horse.
The AUM Senators. Like fucking legislators.
And a horse. I never got... And why the horse had to be turquoise? Do you remember the horse mascot?
I don't remember that.
It was a turquoise horse.
I don't know. But that... He was on the basketball. Now. He was one of the star players of the Senators. And he getting campus love. Like, that exists everywhere. Those campuses... Because the basketball team do bring money and stuff to the school... I just don't see how much they could have been bringing to it.
Our soccer team was actually... AUM was more known for soccer.
The soccer team was live.
They were more known for soccer than they were basketball. Because they would be recruiting all of these Icelandic... Like, all these people from all over the world playing soccer at AUM. But basketball... But they were campus celebrities. But Nate built his off of being this, like, super nice guy... who was really religious and he loved Jesus, and like it was too much. It was too much. Like, I always thought he was fake. I never really, and nothing against him, but like he just irritated me with the fakeness, because it's like, nigga, calm down. We in college. Like, you know, people drink, they go out, they have fun. They like he didn't do any of that, which I know was bullshit. He was just very fake to me. But that's the only time I got, like, with somebody trying to present themselves as something different. I ain't never got finesse financially. Ain't nobody ever stole nothing from me. I don't think that's ever happened.
What's your definition of... We talked about the friend zone before. I think the friend zone is when a person knows that you're interested... and they know that they're not interested, but they don't communicate to you that they're not interested. They know that you're going to always be a friend, but you think you may be more.
Okay.
I think that's the friend zone. That was what makes sense to me.
Okay, yeah, we had this conversation.
Yeah, I don't think the friend zone is just generally when a girl don't want to date you, because a lot of girls make it seem like, well, I didn't like him, I didn't want to date him, so he's in the friend zone if you never going to talk to that dude again. That's not the friend zone. The friend zone is somebody who continues to do those things that you think you're going to play the role in. To me. Okay. And to me, I think that is that's a high level of finessing to me, which is what happened to me. With a girl I was dating when I was at AUM, she went to state. She didn't have no car. Used to drive and all that stuff. And we was talking, and she made it seem like we was gonna get close to a relationship. And then, you know, on her Facebook, she started putting up, you know, statuses that had something to do with a dude, but it wasn't me. I was like, I know, she was just over here last night, but this status ain't about me. And she kept doing that shit. And you know what? I confronted her about it twice. I said, your Facebook status is talking about somebody, but it's not me. She's like, oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. All the way to the very end, to where it's like him and her in a relationship now. And she was saying to that very point that she wasn't talking to nobody. And I'm like, okay. That's like, that was I got finesse. I don't have a problem with the friend zone. Because me, personally, like, let me not say I don't have a problem with friend zone. That was the only time I experienced the friend zone in the way I define it. But I don't have a problem with being rejected by a woman in that sense. What you thinking?
I had, like, in high school, I was awkward looking. I might be still awkward looking to some people. I don't know, but by my definition, I was even more awkward then. And so I would have people that would be nice to me because I was smart. So when they needed help with something like school related, I would have like dudes that would be really nice. And because I was naive at first, when this first started happening, because it didn't start happening until like junior high, high school, I would be like, oh, he might, he might like me, and then it'd be, you think you could copy them notes from just different things like that. And so what happened is I started realizing that, oh, this nigga just being nice. He want me to do this fucking work for him. So I went through like something like that, but I wasn't.
It was hard being smart.
Yeah.
When you was young. Mm-hmm. I remember in 6th grade, I was in Miss Allen class and we was taking a test, and the school bully named Nucci.
Damn, he was. I mean, how he gonna not be a bully with a name?
Yeah,
like
he was
Nucci?
meant to whoop motherfuckers' ass in 6th grade.
Shit.
He should have been in like the 8th grade or something like that.
His name Nucci. I'm not surprised. That sounds like somebody that would have been held back too.
He was like, "Give me the answers," and you know me, I got some balls. I was like, "No." He's like, "I'm gonna beat your ass after school."
You had a whole Debo situation.
Like under his breath. I'm sitting there like, why I gotta sit next to this motherfucker in this classroom? I can't believe this shit. I ain't cursed back then, but my friend in front of me, Charlie, he asked him the same thing, and Charlie gave the answers up.
Charlie said, I ain't finna fight with this
And Charlie was my friend, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I can't let Charlie be in this by himself, and I don't want my ass whooped. So I was like, holding up my paper, trying to show him some answers.
I used to hate group work. That's what I didn't like about being smart in high school. I hated
Group work. We never had group
We had group shit. And so what pissed me off is one or two things are going to happen. Either people going to get in a group with you, know you smart, and expect you to do everything off top, and they gonna make it very known. Well, you know how to do this, so we just gonna let you do it type shit. Or you gonna give them an assignment that they aren't gonna do, that they're gonna agree to do but don't do. And because all our grade depend upon everybody's shit being together, I used to be the person that would just end up doing everything. Cause you ain't finna fuck my grade up cause you stupid. That's what you not gonna do. So I would rather just go ahead and do it as opposed to having a bad grade. But I also would be angry because it's like, bitch, you need to I could not stand group work. I would get so angry when the teacher would be like, we're gonna break into groups. And why we gotta, can I just do this shit on my own? I don't want to be in a group with nobody in here because everybody in here stupid. No thanks. Let me just do my work and get my fucking grade. I hated that shit. Oh, I hated group work. Couldn't stand it. And then I would always get in a group with people because they knew that I was smart, and just be like, well, we just gonna let Red do it because you know how, like, that ain't no compliment. You need to learn how, bitch. You like I am. The fuck? Oh, I hate a group work. We had a lot of that. And I guess it was like them trying to teach you how to work together because you're going to have to do that. Like when you get out, like you have to work with people on the job. But the difference is, with a job, these niggas ain't gonna not get paid. These grades, obviously, they don't give a fuck about somebody that's already making C's and D's. Don't give a damn about getting another D. I, on the other hand, with my good GPA, give a shit about a D. We're not getting no D in here. So I'm gonna have to pull. Oh, I hate it. I hated groups. I couldn't stand it. I would get so angry.
Pass.
I hated it.
Okay, I got a scenario.
Okay.
This is your client.
Okay.
For any new listeners, Red and I are therapists.
Okay.
So
we are.
This is your client.
Okay.
I am rewriting my list of rules for my husband. I was told my first lot was a bit harsh. What do you think of these? Honest opinions, please, as I really want to be fair. Is there any more I should add? No female friends, no social media, no male friends with partners, must be single, males only. Must work a minimum of 50 hours per week, no smoking, can drink but only 2 times a year or less and not get drunk, no PlayStation or game machines, no porn, must keep the house clean at all times, and no going out without me.
So I would be preparing her for a life of singledom. Cause you ain't gonna find nobody that's gonna do that shit on that list. That is the most everything on there is unreasonable.
The only reason somebody would write a list this intense is if she believes that she's a 10 plus, and she believes that because of how she looked, a dude will accept all this stuff she got going on.
Go down. Let's go by them one by one. Go back.
No female friends.
Why? That's an insecurity on your part, not his part. I can understand. Now, I would have an issue with if we once we get married and you just keep making all these new motherfucking female friends, but like already standing relationships, who the fuck am I to come in and break that shit up? So that's so that lets me know that we need to work. She's insecure.
No social media.
She's insecure. Because you feel like social media is going to be used for some fuck shit. Otherwise, what would you care? He was using social media for the way that it was intended for it to be used. And you were confident enough that that would be the case. But you feel like you got to control it. That's an insecurity.
No male friends with partners, must be single males only.
That's weird because normally people don't want you hanging around single people because they feel like you're going to have them doing bullshit. So that's a curious one.
That means that insecurity is about your access to that person's woman.
But like that's so crazy to think they're why would you even want to date somebody that you think is capable of fucking their friend's girl or their friend's wife? Like why? she don't know, but she want to put out all the stops. That's crazy.
That's the purpose of one of these lists.
Is very
she might find a perfect dude, but she want to make sure that he know what her standards is.
That is unreasonable. What's the next thing?
Must work a minimum of 50 hours a week.
50? 40 is the standard work week. So she crazy.
No smoking.
Okay. I don't want nobody that smokes.
Can drink but only 2 times a year
That's
or
ridiculous.
less and not get drunk.
And this is
but saying no smoking is different than meeting a person that smokes and not choosing them versus getting into it with, like, she shouldn't have a list to say no smoking. She should just meet a dude who say he don't smoke.
Yeah.
Like, this sound like it don't matter what you do. Even if you do smoke, you can't smoke with me.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna happen. If you smokers ain't finna just quit.
But can drink, but only 2 times a year or less and
ridiculous.
Not get drunk.
I have a thing with alcohol. I've talked about this before because of my dad and my history with alcoholics in my family. Even I would not have. That's ridiculous. Twice a year and you can't get drunk either of the time. I don't want no nigga that's getting drunk now. That I don't want. But like twice a year, what? How you gonna keep? That's ridiculous. A lot of control.
She about to get Quaaludes just so he can go out. He ain't even trying to have sex with her. He just want her to lose a chunk of time
so he can go have sex.
Yeah. Hey man, what's up, man? You coming out tonight, man? No, I ran out of Quaaludes, man. Can't even put this damn girl to sleep again.
Okay, can't drink. What's the next one?
No PlayStation or game machines.
That's some women just now. That is, I won't necessarily say that's an insecurity on her. Some women just for whatever reason feel like grown men shouldn't play video games. I don't understand it. I don't give a fuck. I play video games, so I really don't give a fuck if you play them or you don't. So, but some women do feel like it's something that kids do. I don't know why they feel that way when you see how complicated these games are, but whatever. That one's not so odd. There's a lot of women that feel.
They
that
rather
way.
have a dude who don't play games that'll slap in the face than a dude who just want to calm down and have his games in some peace. That's what they rather have in a lot of instances.
Well, and it's still back to the insecurity. She need a lot of attention. She wants a lot of attention. She feels like him playing the games would take away, and it will take away attention, especially when a new game come out. Niggas is gonna be in front of that new game for a while. That's what happens. But that's ridiculous.
No porn.
That is never gonna happen.
You think every dude watch porn?
Yes.
No.
I
every
think
dude don't watch
that
porn?
the type of porn might differ from dude to dude. I feel like every dude watches porn. I do. I would never have the expectation that I would find a dude that don't watch porn. I
know
just don't
some
believe
dudes
it.
that find porn disgusting.
Really? Mm-hmm. There are men that believe that. That's funny. I'm on the other side of the thing where I would be like,
they Catholic, so it's like conditioned more than anything.
But I wonder if they just saying that because they're Catholic and they feel like they have to say it. I just feel like that may just be them like saying what they feel like they should say because of their religion.
But I feel like the sensible thing is to just not say anything.
True. But I mean,
and just choke the monkey when you get home.
But if you feeling guilty about Catholic guilt is like heavy. They make them feel bad about every goddamn thing.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, because you just get to go sit in a little room and say, "Hey, I did some crazy shit," and he gonna say, "Spin 3 circles, say Hail Mary twice, and put your finger in your booty, and you be forgiven."
Are gonna offend anybody Catholic listening.
I don't know what they say in that booth. I've never been in one.
I know they do Hail Marys. I don't understand what the fuck that's supposed to do. Hail Marys is but I don't know about the rest of the confession. And you have to apologize Forgive me, Father. It's been this many times, this many days, this many weeks, months since my last confession.
I wonder if you have to do that shit for every time you masturbate. And I wonder if you masturbate like 3 times in one night, if that's like 1 or 3.
Probably just have to do a Hail Mary for each time. I don't know.
Is it like one? It's like one sin.
I don't.
Or if you do it multiple times, is that 3 sins?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like if you tell the Father that you masturbated, is he gonna say how many times? Or
Probably,
is he gonna?
I doubt it. He probably just gonna say whatever he would say normally for any other singular sin. I don't think that it's dependent upon the amount of time.
He probably gonna say, how old are you?
Oh, Jesus.
When they say 13, they're like too old.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
Terrible. That is so awful.
We know the Catholic Church got problems with pedophilia. What do we? People always talk about that's wrong. That's bad. You know what's wrong? When they be fucking boys. That's wrong. Hell, don't be coming at me because I make a joke about the creepy Catholic pedophiles.
Oh, Jesus.
A recent Catholic said he didn't know it was wrong to have sex with young boys.
What?
Yes, he said he didn't know it was wrong. He had not had sex with any of them, but this was him trying to defend people calling out all of these priests doing that junk. Told you the loopholes, man. The Bible got
ain't a
loopholes.
loophole.
The Bible have loopholes.
Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodomy was one of the things. Like, that is sodomy. Sodomy is not okay. How would you?
That's
anyway,
Old Testament shit.
not gonna do this.
That's Old Testament shit.
I believe most men watch porn, so that's a stupid thing. And
So when you are with somebody, like, what's gonna be porn limitations?
I don't know. I mean, you don't need to be obsessively watching porn. That'll be weird.
Would you watch it with them? You ever watched it with
I've
somebody?
watched porn. It's so voyeuristic to me, so it's weird. But I have watched porn with somebody that I was dating before, and
I think that's weird
it's
to
just
me
weird.
too.
It's just really weird.
I have, but it's like it was weird.
It's
It was
weird.
her suggestion.
This was his. I would never have suggested it. But
She was like,
he was like,
she
let's
was
watch
like,
a flick. Like, okay.
she was like, let's just do what they doing on the porn. I was like, look, my meat ain't that big. Number one, okay, I ain't got no Lexington Steel situation going on. I ain't got no Wesley Pipes. I ain't got no Rico Strong. I ain't got no Mr. Marcus. I ain't got no LT. Okay, so
You know a lot of these porn stars.
because it's like 7 black male porn stars. If you watch black porn, you done seen. If you watch 2 black flicks, you done seen all the black porn stars they got to offer. Males.
The one that I watched, it was a black porn. I don't know. I'm sure he's a well-known person. I don't know his name though, but like he was talking so bad to the woman, and that was so weird for me too, because he was like, "You just a nasty hoe."
Oh, that's Wesley Pipes.
You just, like I was just
He probably
like,
had a gun tattoo on his side. That's Wesley Pipes. I hate to know so much about these dudes' naked bodies, but it's the nature of watching porn. You can't hear.
But that was weird for me because I'm just like, that is. First of all, you better not say no shit like that to me. Don't like. That's weird. It's just weird. It's just weird.
I
That
realize
whole
that
situation
in
was
these
weird.
last 2 episodes, I'm making a horrible case for my sexuality. But I want to assure everybody that I am straight, love women.
Oh,
My meat has
Jesus.
never jumped for a male, ever, okay? Not even by accident.
I did receive a question about last week's episode. But it was while they were watching it though, like, by the time I saw it and responded, they were like, "Never mind, I kept listening." They thought you were coming out on the
Listen,
show.
I'm an objective truth finder. Sometimes that means the dialogue that you go down ain't gonna look good for you. And it did not look good for me last week. That's why I had to give my
Yes.
disclaimer.
Yes.
Okay?
I'm glad you did because he was concerned about you. He was like, "Is he okay?" I was like, "What? What you mean?"
Listen, if I liked meats in my face, I would tell the world, okay? At this point in my life, I'm fairly confident in myself, okay?
Why does it have to be meats in your face?
Because if I was gay, that's what it would be, right? Who is gay and don't have meat in their face sometimes?
I mean, do tops do oral on other men? Like, I don't know if you're a top, if you engage in that, or if it's just done to you.
You asking me like I may know. We just had this disclaimer. I can't answer that question.
It's rhetorical. I was just putting it out because I don't know. I don't know if it's like reciprocated if you're a top that you would have a meat in your face. Like if you were a bottom, I would assume, but like I don't know about tops. I don't know how that works. I don't know. Maybe you can be gay and not have meats in your face if you're a top. I don't know. Anyhow, the point is, I would not care. I fully expect every man I date to have watched, and probably still be watching porn when I'm dating them. Like that's just what it is. Now, if we like got together, moved in together, and like you were watching porn every night or some shit, that get kind of weird because it's like, you do know I'm over here. Like it's just weird. So like, but just porn in and of itself, I don't give a shit about that. Like it's what men do. So that's a stupid one. What was the next one?
Must keep house clean at all times.
Not realistic.
No going out without me.
Definitely. Who the fuck? I don't understand people with that kind of mentality. Please go out without me so I can get away from you and get some time to my damn self. Please go out.
But you're the opposite of somebody who is clingy and
True.
insecure.
Nobody got time for this.
You're like on the other side. You like leave me alone except when I want to see you.
Basically. That's accurate. Yes.
Like I feel like if your dude had the power to be invisible, you just want him to be invisible like 75% of the time.
Yes. Probably. 60. 60-40.
That's high. That's still high.
It is. But yeah, that's just very clingy and it's not healthy. There is a certain amount of space that is healthy in a relationship. Y'all don't need to be on each other all the time. You still need to have your own identities. And so somebody who say you can't ever go out without me, that's the problem.
The word is interdependence. So you have independence and you have dependence. Don't want dependence. That's when your circles all in one circle. You don't want independent exclusively because that's when your circles are born. Interdependence is when you take two separate independents and you put them and they overlap a little bit.
But they still had it on the outside.
Exactly. They have that big bubble on the outside of their stuff. And you know what? The overlap will get more and more and more the longer that you're in a relationship. But that's the goal. You get to be you. She get to be she or he get to be he. And y'all still have your own identities. But a part of it's overlaps.
Yep. That's
like
the
this shit
way.
right here. This shit is like, it's borderline codependent.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't know if it's codependent, but she's clearly codependent.
Yes, Jesus.
And it'll be helpful for somebody else to be codependent.
Very controlling.
But that's it. That's all it was.
She's nuts. Yeah. If that was my client, we would have.
Oh, yeah. And she said, I'm rewriting my list because the first one was a bit harsh.
What the fuck was on the first one?
I have no idea.
What could be more harsh than that? My God.
Let's see how. No female friends except with lace fronts that are bad. No social media except for Black Planet.
Oh God.
You can have Black Planet.
Is that still a thing?
No, they probably done changed it. I ain't gonna go out on down a little bit.
But that's I would work on that whole list. Would let me know that one, that person has a lot of insecurities. Two, that person has an issue with codependency. We would have to work on both of those things. So if that was my client, those would be my focal points. That was what I would gain from her telling me that damn list. Like, girl,
I got you.
We got to work on this.
What's your first story?
Oh, so if you have a question you would like for us to answer on the show, you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartist@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook and send us a message that way. Let me see which one of these. Let's start out with something lighthearted and hilarious. So a college student trolls the MAGA supporters on Twitter and collects money from them through a GoFundMe. So this black girl who goes by the name of Karan, in a photo she posted to her Twitter account, she captioned a photo of her wearing a MAGA hat and said, "I will not hide any longer. The left has made us feel as if us black Republicans should hide, but not anymore. Hashtag blacks for Trump. Hashtag walk away. Hashtag MAGA." The tweet started to make its rounds on the social platform, and eventually Karan continued with her storyline and claimed that her parents kicked her out and refused to pay her college tuition. She even provided screenshots of a fake conversation to back her story. She attached a link to a GoFundMe page to one of her tweets, and surprisingly, money started coming in. A few hours later, Karan revealed that the photo with the MAGA hat and the messages were not real. She tweeted, "Trump is a racist, homophobic, transphobic bigot." Now, she will not disclose how much money she made off of the GoFundMe, but she took it down and she refunded the money because she said she didn't want to get in no trouble.
What kind of trouble would she get in?
She might have got hung.
Might have got hung. Not if she pay attention.
She ain't want no kind of problems, but just the fact that these strangers were willing to give up money simply because this girl supports Trump and said to her parents, like, it's black kids out here who want to go to college, can't get in college. Y'all don't give a fuck about that. But because this girl who already is in college with parents that can pay for college says that they said they're not going to help her pay no more because she a Trump supporter. Now y'all want to pull out your checkbooks and shit. This is sad and stupid. And I think it's hilarious.
Were her parents in on it or was that fake?
She just went back and forth. Sent messages back and forth with.
So her parents, they really thought that was the case.
No, she told them what she was doing, and they knew that she was just doing it as a joke. Yeah. So, but she needed the screen cap so that it would seem more authentic. And so what she did was took screen caps of her text message conversation and posted it within her tweets. And white folks started putting money in her GoFundMe. And it's just funny to me that that's all it took to get them to support her college education. When, again, there are people who really want to go that can't go and can't get the money to, and would never be able to get those same people to rally around them and say, hey, let's send this person to college, like, or help them out. It's just stupid. But it was just hilarious that she was able to finesse them like that.
Happens.
I'm mad I didn't think of that shit.
White America got money.
Look, I can get my rent paid.
Have you ever seen Twitch or Mixer stream? Mm-mm. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Where they record them playing the games. Yeah, well, actually, I take that back. No, my brother he records himself now. And so I watch him from time to time because he asked me to, even though I don't know what the fuck he be playing. I still watch.
They legit be legit people on there just donate money while they playing, just giving money up. You know, like, I know what it feel like to be poor. I ain't finna send no money to somebody playing no damn game.
Hell no.
But there's like so many rich white kids out here that the parents got old money and they just send on. They can do shit like that.
The sad thing though is that the people who probably sent her money, because it didn't sound like it was a lot of money. Probably people who didn't even have that money to fucking send, but just because you want to support this black girl that loves Trump, you just gonna send money you ain't even got to fucking send. Because it was being reported that she got like $150,000, which was nowhere near what
That's
she
a
got.
bad idea.
What?
Giving money you don't have away.
But
to something like that.
Well, but his supporters are not the brightest people a lot of times. And like I said, all of his supporters
are the brightest people.
Are they?
They white. That's like the brightest fucking hue.
What is your first
We
story?
black as fuck.
I can't do
and
this
proud.
with you. I'm not gonna do this with you.
A 10-year-old was charged as an adult for killing a 6-month-old baby. 6-month-old baby. Killed that baby.
What? I'm trying to be serious. What's wrong with you? Why? How did he kill the baby? Let me ask that. She. Oh, how did she kill the baby?
She was at a daycare and the adults were gone, and the 6-month-old baby started crying. And after she dropped the baby, and she panicked and didn't know how to keep the baby quiet, so she started stepping on his head. What? You laughing at that? Damn, I didn't expect that response from you. Wait, a psychopath response.
Wait, let me explain why. The kid logic that goes behind stomping somebody's face in to get them to stop crying, like, what kind of sense is? I thought you was gonna say she took a pillow to muffle the sound, not that she stomped her face in.
Oh yeah, they found the shoe marks was on the baby head.
Wait, and you're not gonna make me sound like I'm crazy. You did a stomp. He did a stomping motion with his feet. And that also made me laugh because you stomping the floor with your foot when you said
I was trying to emulate her stomping the baby head.
Oh my God. All of that together was why I laughed. It's not funny. And she should be tried as an adult because I don't.
At 10 years old?
I don't think that she. I don't think she maliciously killed this child. I think she was stupid because she 10. The adults who left her there with this 6-month-old, where the fuck they go?
I have no idea.
That's what the question I need answered. She 10, and so she's stupid. Again, the logic behind stomping a baby face to get them to stop crying is ridiculous. Like, the fact that was how her mind worked because she's 10. I don't know that I feel like she should be tried as an adult for that. It ain't like she just like, I feel like tried as an adult is like these kids that go in these schools and premeditated and be shooting for killing their classmates and shit. Try them as an adult. Or a kid that's out here robbing folks and like got a gun with him and shoot somebody. Try him as an adult. This shit, like something like this, I don't know that I'm comfortable with her being tried as an adult. I feel like the people in charge should not have left her at 10 along with that 6-month-old baby, because it's so crazy. Like, again, I thought you was finna say she took a pillow and put it over her face. Stomping her face in is just it's insane. That's crazy. And that just shows you how immature she is. Like, I just
really don't think that a 10-year-old should have been left with a child.
She shouldn't have.
Especially one that is clearly not smart.
Yeah.
Or,
like, I don't think I'm not gonna say she shouldn't be punished, but charging her as an adult, I don't think it's fair. And I think that these adults need to have neglect or something, because
I'm having trouble understanding right now.
that's because I didn't say nothing to you, Alexa.
Alexa's tripping.
Ain't nobody saying nothing to you. Oh. But the adults in this situation need to be charged with neglect or something, because why would you leave this 10-year-old at home? And obviously she not a mature 10. Like, she ain't even, the fact that, again, that her logic and her reasoning led her to stomping a baby face in.
And this was at a daycare. So this is somebody else,
It's
10-year-old that killed.
It's somebody else's 6-month-old.
This is somebody else, kid that got killed.
I don't think she should be charged as an adult. I think the adults need to definitely have a charge on them. And I'm not going to say she don't need to be punished, but I don't think she needs to be charged as an adult.
What kind of punishment can you give a 10-year-old for that?
Juvie.
Juvie here, 10 years old is too young for juvie here.
What do they do with kids younger than that when they get in trouble?
Send them to a mental ward, Hillcrest. Psychological unit.
I don't think I guess I would have to hear more detail. It just sounded to me, again, when kids, this is what I be trying to get parents to understand. You know, parents have this idea that their kids, because you're an adult and so you logically work out things and come to this conclusion, that a child gonna come to an adult conclusion, and they not. Their brain is not yet developed enough for them to do that. So yeah, they do shit that don't make no fucking sense because they kids. And so in their mind, the way they work things out, it usually makes no sense. Makes sense to them because they 10 or 5 or however old. Like, you cannot put adult logic on a child. They're not capable of it quite yet. They got a long way to go before they are going to be able to be as logical as an adult is. And so because of that, I just don't even know what her thought process could have been. Like, this, because if you hit something, if you step on my foot right now, I'm going to cry out. Like, I'm gonna yell out. It's gonna hurt. I'm gonna keep, like, trying to silence something. The way to do that is not by stomping on it.
You know, they haven't really given much details about the girl, but I want to lean towards her having a conduct disorder, because by 10, like early as 5 is when those, like, things like hurting animals and stuff, you supposed to have that natural propensity to know that if you do something like this to a living creature, that it's gonna hurt or harm them. And she's 10. She is far too old to not know that this shit is gonna cause irreparable damage. I'm more thinking along the lines
You think
of,
she's a young psychopath?
She's a young psychopath. I think that she got conduct disorder. She did this shit kind of on purpose because she wanted to know what it would be like.
Well, even that is even worse, because then that makes the parents or people in charge even more negligent, because if she got conduct disorder and she's had instances displaying symptoms of conduct disorder, she definitely didn't need to be left and by herself with no damn babies. Like, that just makes the situation worse for the adults who allowed this to happen.
So let me explain this. we always hear about psychopaths and sociopaths, but that's like a diagnosis for adults.
They don't give that to children.
When it's a child, what they call it is conduct disorder. And one of the key
or
components,
ODD, oppositional defiant.
I don't even like oppositional. I don't count oppositional defiant disorder in that. Oppositional defiant disorder, I don't even like it as a real diagnosis. It is purely subjective. There could be any number of internal things going on, but they base that off of like oppositional defiant disorder is basically when a kid is just resistant to adults. But sometimes it's just when kids won't follow the rules. That ain't ODD. That ain't oppositional defiant disorder, but kids get diagnosed with that shit.
They get a diagnosed with ODD a lot too. I get a lot of kids with ODD.
ODD is when there is a kid who clearly, blatantly, and flagrantly don't fuck with adults or what they say because they adults. Not just a kid that ain't following the rules. Because is a lot of reasons why kids don't follow the rules outside of an adult told you to do it. You know, so I don't like that diagnosis. But conduct disorder, two of the main components of it. And if your kid is on this shit, watch them. Setting fires. Your kid like to set fires or harming animals.
Yep.
If you see your kid throwing firecrackers at the cats and the squirrels, then you need to get your fucking kid and get out the house.
Or if you
don't get your kid, just get out of the house.
Find animal skulls in the backyard and you ain't had no damn animals.
Well,
or the kids.
I don't think that count.
Why?
I don't think that count.
Why?
Because I work with a kid on my caseload who she was just a little jungle Viking little girl. So she'll go out into the forest and be out there for 3 or 4 hours. She's 8 or 9 at this point. And she'll pick up deer skulls and stuff and bring them back.
No. I mean, like, they've been killing their animals in the neighborhood and burying them, and you find a graveyard
that
full
is
of
really
animals.
extreme.
No, a lot of times it's not. They're not killing their animals because that's going to become a lot more noticeable. They kill animals in the neighborhood. So if the cats and shit in the neighborhood start coming up missing, they got to go somewhere when they kill them.
You're not likely to see that one. You're more likely to just see them kicking animals and just clearly not having the empathy for life. And that's how it gets into psychopath and sociopath and being able to hurt humans, because they don't have this built-in component that makes you care about people existing. Like when you watch movies and shit, and the first time somebody see a dead person, they throw up. Like that shit is built into people. That not wanting to see people dead, not wanting to see people harmed. We're supposed to have that, you know. And when you don't have it, that's what you get.
Yep.
You know. And so I feel like that's a component of it. Like I wish we knew what it looked like when it happened. I feel like she pulled the baby out, threw him on the floor on purpose and stomped on his head. Like, I know they try to paint it like it's a mistake, but the fact that they coming down so hard on her, charged as an adult, I really feel like there was some intention on her behind this.
I hope that's the case. She a black child?
No, she white.
Oh, well, yeah, I really feel like that.
Yeah. But damn, if she was black, you wouldn't feel like it was some conduct disorder?
No, I don't know. I wouldn't say that necessarily, but I feel like they would have been a lot more willing to charge a 10-year-old as an adult if it was a little black child as opposed to a little white child. Just because, like, even if it wasn't conduct disorder.
Well, psychopathy does run rampant in the white population.
It does. So, oh, Jesus. That's terrible. And and
you laughed.
I was not laughing because
Whatever.
it's not.
Whatever. Go
Y'all
to your
should have
next story.
seen him do this damn stomping motion. I hate you.
Stump the yard. Stump the baby.
I'm not going to do this with you. So this is very good. This next story, because last week, one of your things about down low men was asking if we get to put labels on them. If we get to tell them that they bisexual, if they feel like they just like having sex with men. We don't get to put that on them.
That wasn't my
Well, yes, that was a question. So do we get to tell somebody how old they are?
No,
if they don't feel their age.
I mean, people spend their whole lives trying to make themselves look younger.
Not be
But you
younger.
don't know how old people is. Unless you like Yagami and got them eyes.
But
you have no idea what I'm talking about.
No.
Death Note fans will know. Go for it.
But if your birth certificate, the day that we do know how old people are from the day that they were born. Like that's a fact. That's not a label that's your age. So there's a white man. He's 69 years old who identifies as a 45-year-old, and he wants to get legal documents to change his age. His name is Emil Rattleban. He's
Is
a
he
Dutch.
white?
Yeah, he's Dutch.
Or Dutch.
Dutch entrepreneur has started a whole legal process to change his age from 69 years old to 45. He says, you can change your name. You can change your gender. Why not your age? Nowhere are you so discriminated against as with your age. So he feels as though his love life as well as his work options would be better if he could identify as a 45-year-old. Let me tell you what not gonna happen to Emil, okay? If I met somebody who told me that they were 45, even if you are 45 and you look 69, I'm not gonna fuck with you. And I definitely ain't gonna fuck with you if I find out you only identify as 45 and you're actually, because your balls still 69. Still hanging old, shrivelly 69-year-old balls. So no thanks, Emil. It's not gonna help your love life because it's not simply an age thing. The reason why people have an issue going so far outside of age ranges is not necessarily just the number itself. It's what the difference in those ages means. It means that you're gonna have less in common and those kind of things. Emil, you can't change that shit just by changing your fucking age. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And it's like, I love that we have become more open-minded and letting people not be defined by certain things, but like this is kind of a little much because you got Rachel Dolezal talking about she black when she's not, because that's what she identifies.
She never said she black.
She identifies as a black woman, mixed woman, whatever. She identifies as a mixed woman. Either way, she white. She's neither of those things. So I just, when I'm on Tinder and it says I'm 69, I don't get an answer. When I'm 49, with the face I have, I will be in a luxurious position. So he thinks that I wish, you know what? I wish I could talk to Emil, because I'd be like, just do a little scientific experiment. Post your profile, but change your age to 49 and see if you get any more bitches than you was getting when it was 69. First of all, the fact that you see, I didn't even realize 69-year-olds were on Tinder. Let me say that. No.
You didn't?
No. I mean, my age thing is set at a limit, so like I don't even see anybody
That's
that's.
what I'm saying. But you know the height of that limit. What make you think that wouldn't be people on there that's at the highest age you can scroll
I'll
to?
tell you something. And I mean, maybe I'm not trying to be age discriminating, but like I can only use my mom. My mom is only 62. My mom and technology of any kind is just, she act like she can't do anything. Like when she's lost her phone 2 times this year, whenever she gets a new phone, I have to go set it up for her, even though there's really nothing to setting up phones at this point. But she is just very not technologically savvy, and so she has problems. So like I just didn't think 69-year-olds would want to be doing date, and they're not from a generation where that was happening. So that's why it surprises me, just because they're not a demographic that I would think would be comfortable meeting people online, because that's not a generation that's not the generation they come from.
My grandmama on Facebook live as hell. My friends like, I like your grandmama. She funny. Every time she get on there, Eddie, I don't like your beard. Well, so you should have gave me some different genes.
My grandmother.
Maybe if you would have married a different man and had a different son that would have had me, then maybe I have an Anthony Hamilton beard that I want to shave off because it looked like pubic hair. Maybe that's what I would do. I know it don't work like that, but you know.
My grandmother, neither of my grandparents were ever on any kind of social media, so that's just funny to me that your grandmother is on. Never. My grandmother didn't even have a cell phone at the end of her life. Neither one of them did. They still had house phones. I don't even think my grandma has ever had a cell phone. Matter of fact, they still had a house phone, and then they both ended up having to go stay at an assisted living place, so they didn't. But you had to call their room. Like she didn't even have a cell phone, so that's just crazy. Like, I guess I'm basing this on the older people in my life. They don't fuck with technology like that. So, like, I would never, if my mom broke up with my dad, I just wouldn't believe that she would ever get on Tinder.
You said like they ain't
Divorced.
married.
Well, it don't seem like it. Divorced. If she ever divorced my dad, I would be very surprised to see her swiping on Tinder one day.
I just went to Tinder and put in the highest age it'll go. She is definitely not 99 years old.
Oh, hell no.
Ooh, she 57, but she looks 79.
Oh, no. Is she white?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know. You know how they age.
Oh, like milk.
Milk like cottage cheese.
Well, at least I gave
I
them
need to
milk.
get up. Oh God.
So there are a lot of older women on there, I guess, from your swiping.
Listen, Emil. Being 45 on paper ain't gonna change that osteoporosis, brother. It ain't gonna change that you need that Centrum and Metamucil to keep your life up, brother.
Or potentially, what is it? Viagra.
Viagra.
I mean, it's not gonna change your body. Like, you're still 60-fucking-9, my dude.
You're only as old as you feel, brother. And you know what? This shit just making you look stupid. This make you look so much more stupid than just lying to women on Tinder. Just lie. Lie and say you 45. Tell everybody and ask you how old you is that you 45. Just do that. That is better than sitting here trying to get a formal process by which you're recognized as 45.
It's just so funny. Like, and what's hilarious is that I don't know if one of us would ever do that. Cause like, I don't feel like, now look, all black people do not age gracefully, but most black people, when you take care of yourself, age gracefully. My mom is 60.
Who a black person that ain't age gracefully?
I mean, I can't think of nobody famous, but I know people like regular people don't sometimes, because if you out here smoking or doing crack or thing, that is going to age you. Okay, but if you just a regular person living a regular life and you taking care of yourself, you're gonna act like melanin helps us. It just does. Our skin.
I feel like all black people have the potential to age gracefully if you don't crack yourself. Crack yourself with crack, then you fucked up.
So a lot of times we get mistaken for being younger anyway, without having to go through no fucking, I still sometimes, depending on, I guess, like what I got on, I would still get carded for shit. And I don't never get upset. I don't never be like, how dare you? I'm 33. I always be like, oh, you're so sweet. Here's my ID. I don't ever get upset about that. But like, I feel like because we always get mistaken for being younger most of the time, this ain't no shit I even would need to seek out to do that shit. Like,
folks be thinking I'm in my 20s.
I still get that. Wow.
Early
20s.
Yeah, be thinking I'll be 26 or 27.
I get early to mid 20s. So
a lot of my kids do, but they really don't have a gauge of age. But older people be like, I didn't think you were 34. And I'm like, well, thanks for that.
I know. I don't ever get it. Listen, anytime I've had a lot of Indian men say that to me too, which is they age pretty well, don't they? The women do. I don't know. Anyway, I've just
the more brown you got, the better you age. We age the best. Just want to let you know that off motherfucking rip. Okay.
I just don't feel like any of us would seek this out, because we really wouldn't need to, because you really already get you get less as far as visually getting age discrimination, because people don't ever think you are as old as you are, so you don't even have to deal with it. When I told people my mama was 62, they was like, she's 62. Like, yeah, she's 62. Like, her face, she doesn't really have wrinkles. Like, her face is still, I think she may have crow's feet, but like, her face still smooth. Still smooth. Not wrinkly yet. Not yet, but we don't really have to do that, I feel like. So I'm not surprised Emil is white. And Dutch white at that. I don't know if that makes a difference.
Dutch white, what that mean? What does Dutch white mean?
He from the Netherlands.
The Netherlands, Dutch white. I don't know what Dutch white means.
Emil, I don't know if I doubt Emil gonna be able to change his age, because it's just, there's a lot of things that go along with that. Like, well, I don't know about it in the Netherlands. In the United States, like, your age has a lot to do with benefits and stuff, and like Medicaid and
Unretired
Medicare.
motherfucker, you ain't getting these benefits no more. I just don't. It's just not smart, because technically, even if you do change it on paper, if somebody asks you how old you are and you say the age that's on paper, you're still lying.
Oh yeah, because you're not.
So
that
you might as
age.
well just lie without all the work. Tell the women on Tinder you whatever age you want to be, Emil.
And if I was swiping on Tinder, my age is not set up to do nobody that's 49. But look at here. If I was swiping, I would not think Emil was 49. I'd be like, he an old ass 49.
No, he might be 49. You know how them people have them holes in their face? Like Sean Kingston. that his name?
Sean Kingston.
The black white dude.
The
The white black dude. Sean something.
I don't know what you talking about.
No, Sean Kingston, the damn music, the rapper.
To be
Sean, they call him Talcum X.
I don't know who that is.
Damn. I actually think he got beat up by the police when he was younger, though.
This
But, you
man
know,
does not look 45. Like, if I was swiping, even if he said that, I would be like, whoa, he look rough for 45 and just swipe left. He would get a right swipe off me just because it say 45. I have that happen. Like, what is my age set to? I think my age is set to 40, maybe. I think that's where it's set.
why?
Why 40?
Yeah. Oh, your age that you look for. I thought you
Yeah.
were saying how old you tell people you is.
Hell no, nigga. I tell people how old I am. No, my age on Tinder for what I'm looking for is set to 40. Sometimes there will be white men on there that I'm like, 37? Jesus, you didn't live the hard life. Like, so just by you having that age is not gonna make me swipe, like, cause you supposed to be that. If you don't look it, you don't look it, players. You still gonna get a left swipe. Sorry. So I done had plenty of people who are within the age range but look older than that, and I'm just like, no. No thanks. Look old. Like I'm going out with my grandpa. It's too much. No thanks. So Emil's crazy. I just thought that was an interesting story. He wants to be able to decide how old he is. Like time don't exist. Nigga, you 69. What the fuck? Is that how that works?
You know what? I wasn't gonna talk about election related stuff, but I'm gonna talk about election related stuff. Did you vote?
I did.
How did you feel about voting?
I did it because I felt like it was something I was supposed to do, but I wasn't happy.
I
about
vote
it.
so I can talk shit.
That too.
Don't get me wrong, I inform myself and I make the best decision that I can make with the knowledge that I have. But let me tell you about Alabama.
My 10 Commandments shit.
We passed 4 amendments that were fucking hot garbage, okay? The first one was the 10 Commandments, which is unconstitutional.
Yep.
What that's supposed to do is allow you to display the 10 Commandments on public property, which is against the federal guidelines. But the only way the federal government does allow it is if you put it in an educational or historical setting. So if you like put it next to the Declaration of Independence or the Constitution, then you may be able to argue that this is for educational, historical purposes because it's the foundation of a lot of our law and Western morals. Maybe. But that ain't even the big part of it. The bigger part of it is you can't use government funds to challenge the law. So if a legislator want to put the 10 Commandments in a school and the school don't like it, or parents don't like it, or somebody don't like it and want to challenge it, can't use government money. And so the school would have to use its own money to do it. Bullshit. The Second Amendment was an abortion rights amendment, which is still, it passed, but Alabama still got to follow the federal rules for abortion. You can't, just because a state passed some shit don't mean they can skirt the federal rules. But what they did for was if Roe v. Wade is overturned, they have this legislation. And it's crazy. If you go back and look at the dates that this legislation was written, this shit was written like the following month from Neil Gorsuch being in. So like the Supreme Court moves were, for a lot of people, been looked at as this shift coming. And so now it just passed with Kavanaugh in, and that's what they looking forward to. I hope that shit don't happen, but that's what they looking forward to. The third one was something about Tuscaloosa, which apparently they was trying to get, one of my friends said that legislation was for them to try to get somebody who aged out of the system back in by pushing the age of members back. They wanted Bear Bryant Jr. back on the board, where he said he was the one who really like was one of the head leaders of in the UAB football program, which he took a lot of heat for that. But they want him back on the board. That's what he said. I don't know if that's the case. Otherwise, I don't know the reason. And the other one was about, it's just about the Doug Jones Ward Moore election. It basically would leave a seat open if a senator like Jeff Sessions or somebody that's in, the government in Alabama leave, that seat stay open instead of having a special election. It's just hot garbage. So, okay, so now what's happening in Georgia is votes had still been coming in and made it so close that it automatically started a hand count, just to make sure ain't no problems been happening. But what has been found on top of Brian Kemp, being the Secretary of State who is over all the election shit and running for governor, which is clearly a conflict of interest, it turns out that the day of voting, lines were super long. People were having to wait 4 and 5 hours to vote. Machines were breaking down in counties where they only had one machine. It was breaking down. Like, they had a lot of problems. Not all of the provisional ballots was getting sent to people. A reporter went out to see how many people got their provisional ballots, and in just a short time, he found 57 people who didn't get their provisional ballots sent to them. Not only that, but they found out that hundreds of machines in Georgia were not set up. They were locked up in warehouses. So, move from Georgia, going to Florida. In Florida,
The asshole of the United States.
the numbers are still coming in now, and recounts are about to be triggered. But the problem now is that the president don't spoke on is those 2 counties that cost Al Gore the win in Florida in 2000. Those same 2 counties had problems getting all of their shit turned in on time, and so Rick Scott came out calling it fraud, which is just a dog whistle. Well, he knew Trump was going to come out and say that was fraud because that's been his platform, which is really crazy because they don't have all of the votes and they call it fraud, but you can't know if it's fraud until you get the information of the voters. And so that's how you know it's just bullshit, because it can't be fraud. Like, it maybe you can call it a severe mishandling of the voting process in those counties.
Yeah.
But you can't call it fraud until you got the information. And they don't have the information. So that's how you know this is just politics and bullshit, because they wanted to look bad on Democrats or whatever for some reason. Because the reality is, with these numbers dwindling, either with the gubernatorial race or Senate race there can be overturned to the Democrat if the numbers show it. And that, that's ridiculous. On top of that, a dead Nevada brothel owner won an election. He started running when he was alive and died during it. But see, that just speaks to that straight ticket voting shit. Because once they put you on the ballot, at a certain point, they can't take you off the ballot. And I imagine he died in a time where they couldn't redo all the ballots. But it just goes to show how uninformed our nation is. And then you got a Houston judge who released all of the teenagers after he lost his election. All the teenagers he had in juvenile, he asked them one question. He asked them, do you plan on going out and killing somebody? If they said no, he let them go. And some of them were in there for murder charges, potentially. And
What the fuck? Like, really?
America is really irritating.
America.
They tell the motherfuckers who act like they constitutionalists and are all about the Constitution are the same motherfuckers that will try to suppress your vote. Gerrymandering, all these crazy ass drawn districts. So I told you that Neil Rafferty here in Birmingham, an openly gay ex-Marine, won a district. District 54. That district is drawn so crazy, but it's drawn through all the black neighborhoods. It's drawn through Southtown and Woodlawn.
Damn.
And all just these poor ass neighborhoods. And you had to draw it crazy to get that way. They sit here and try to stack the odds in their favor through the loopholes in this process and act like they want everybody to vote. It is ridiculous to me, man. I'm over the process. I vote so I can talk shit. So I don't care how you feel about my opinions or what I say about this shit. I got the right to say it because I voted. You don't like it, then I guess you just don't like it. All right. I could keep going, but I'm gonna stop.
This is not a story, but I don't get involved in like back and forth with debating with people because I just don't like talking to stupid people. But so I watch a lot of YouTube and I visit a site called Lipstick Alley, and basically what it is they just discuss different popular YouTube channels. Now Lipstick Alley is a site that's for it's mostly black folks on the site that talks about these things. And there is a YouTuber who she deleted her channel though. She was a new YouTuber who has 11 children, and she pregnant with her 12th. And none of the dads are involved. And so, you know, people were talking about how ridiculous it is and how irresponsible and all of these things that you would expect. But there was like a group of women in this group who were like, you know, if she can afford to take care of these kids, which she can't on her own, and if she, you know, we need more black people. You know, they trying to get rid of us. We need more black people having babies. What kind of? So here's my thing that you know, this is no shade to anybody that it may fall into this category, okay? But in my opinion, people who have families of 6+ kids are doing a disservice to those kids. And this is why I say this. Even if you had the money where you could take care of 6+ kids, emotionally, there is not enough of a parent to go around where all of those kids are going to feel like they're getting what their needs met emotionally. If you have 6 kids, your oldest kid play football, how are you going to go to his games? Because now you're going to either find somebody to take care of the younger 5 or take the younger 5 with you. And what parent is going to do? Like, it's going to be a lot of stuff that you are not going to be able to give to that child that doesn't involve finances. First of all, financially, that's going to be hard as fuck. And ain't nobody going to tell me that this girl who got 11 kids and 1 on the way, and a grandchild, mind you, because her oldest child didn't have a baby, unsurprisingly, is not getting benefits. She has to. There's no way that she's making it. And she said none of the dads are involved. And she was talking about how when people ask her why none of the dads are involved, because I don't put up with foolishness. Yes, the fuck you do. You got 11 kids. You put up with a lot of foolishness. But, so I guess my point is this. You know, I understand, you know, people have this thing where they feel like the black family is under attack, and I've had these people who are always talking about how they show all of these black gay men and they're pushing this agenda because they want to keep the black family, and it's going to keep the population down because people aren't going to be having as many kids and blah blah blah. And so this was their reasoning for saying it's okay for her to have these 11 kids. It is not okay. The Duggars, let me give you a white example, 19 kids and counting. Those people have the money to take care of their children. But having 19 motherfucking kids means that you are not going to be able to thoroughly provide emotionally, even if you can financially, for all of them fucking kids. They got a child that's a pedophile who is messing with his sister and they friends. They got another child who is now a closeted lesbian.
I feel like a family like that got enough kids to meet a whole bunch of statistical thresholds. I feel like there's going to be a lesbian.
Yes.
There's going to be a gay kid.
Yes.
There's going to be somebody with autism.
Yes.
There's going to be an exceptional kid that's super fucking smart. There's going to be a kid that ain't very smart but got all the motherfucking grind and motivation and energy in the world. You probably going to have a pedophile in there. You're going to have somebody that's get sexually abused
Maybe
in there.
Psychopath.
You're going to have a psychopath in there. I mean, I feel like it's just you gonna meet a whole bunch of them thresholds for bullshit. I don't, you know, I won't say that's because they don't have the emotional capacity to stop. I feel like some of that shit was gonna exist anyway. I mean, I understand what you're saying. I mean, I do agree with you.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think those things are what defines not being able to tend to them.
No.
I think the way that they gonna interact in relationships and how they gonna treat their family and their kids.
Well, I was only using them for an example because one of the things was like, if she was white, I think it was fucked up too. It doesn't have anything to do with her being black. I'm angry because she's black because I feel like she's just doing this stereotypical shit that we get talked about a lot for when white people do this as well. But you cannot give your kid, especially a single mom of 11, ain't no fucking way that all of those kids, you're not going to be able to meet all of their emotional needs. You're not going to be able to be there for them for all of the stuff that all the kids ain't going to get to do shit. So even if you have a kid who wants to play football or wants to play soccer that requires time that you don't have because you got to trying to get them to practice and shit. and still take care of all of these other goddamn kids. Or what's gonna happen is a lot of the older kids gonna get parentified because there's so many of them. They gotta help out, and so now they acting like parents before their parents, which again is why I'm not surprised her oldest child, who's 17, has a child, because why wouldn't she? But so it just made me angry. It's like just saying black folks just need to have baby no matter the circumstances is stupid. That doesn't make any sense. This family and the fact that she decided to do this is irresponsible as hell. I just do not believe in 2018 we need and then another thing, people was like, well, they used to do this back in the day. We have found out there's so much shit that folks used to do is so bad that miss me with that. I don't want to hear nothing about how one, they used to do this because a lot of folks had land and shit and the kids was working the land and all of this bullshit. That doesn't mean because it used to happen that it was a good thing. We've learned that a whole lot of shit that we've been doing as a culture has been fucked up and we need to make some changes. So
like
I don't,
using asbestos to build shit.
Exactly.
Turned out to be bad. Mesothelioma ain't fucking around with your grandmama.
Hell no. Get them quiet ass commercials now. If you've been exposed to asbestos. But like
lung cancer. I don't even know why they let cigarettes still be around. Like,
and they
it's
were
private
smoking
business.
unfiltered. They just started putting the filters in these hoes. They were smoking unfiltered cigarettes, just straight tobacco and
Them
tar
motherfuckers was
fumes.
eating cancer for breakfast, basically.
Like it's a lot of things that used to happen. That's not a reason for continuing to do bullshit. That lady is irresponsible as fuck. She's done a disservice to those kids. Those kids are going. I just ain't no way that all 11, 12, now 12, because she finna have popped this other one out. All 12 of those kids are gonna come out unscathed. It's just not possible because there's not enough of her to go around to meet the emotional needs of a child. A lot of stuff is gonna fly under the radar. A lot of stuff is gonna get skimmed over because she just ain't gonna have the fucking time. And who wants to be pregnant 12 fucking times?
Some women get addicted to that junk, having babies.
Oh my god. Well,
I know
obviously
somebody who really like having babies.
she obviously has her own issues to even do this, and none of the fathers are involved, including baby number 12, which is still in her goddamn belly. It ain't even got here yet, and this nigga's not. It's a ghost and gone.
Little baby.
So I guess I just wanted to say, we as black, it's like anytime right now, if you say something about a black woman and you a black woman, black women don't know how to stand together. We always, if a hoe do some shit, that's some hoe shit, I'ma say it's hoe shit. I'm sorry. You don't get a pass because you're a black woman. I'm not gonna agree with everything you fucking do under this idea of solidarity or sisterhood. I ain't even do that shit. If you fucking up, I'ma tell you fucking up. Sorry.
Like a black person murder somebody and be like, motherfucker can't even murder? Can't even murder around here being black, man. They don't look at me and mom, all I did was murder somebody. You ain't gonna stand with me, brother? Damn.
No, nigga.
Free Pee-wee, man. Goddamn.
Oh god, I hate them free Pee-wee, free
Pee-wee.
such and such. I'll be so sick of that shit. But like, I'm not with that. I'm not gonna just agree with shit black folks do just because they black under the guise of we don't need to be negative about each other because white folks see that, and I don't give a fuck what they see. If you fucking up, you fucking up. My radar for fucking up has nothing to do with what color you are. I'm not gonna ignore some shit that you doing because you black. If you are a woman and I feel like you doing some fuck shit, you're doing fuck shit. Sister, fix it. Work it out. I'm not
She can't
finna
fix that.
That's well, not her. She ain't that. She could do it at this point
I mean,
because
not
these
legally.
children are here. She can't do nothing. But I'm just saying in general, like
not legal.
I'm not gonna do that. Another thing what they're saying is like, this is why black women can't. We always want to tear each other down. Bitch, sit down. Because this ain't got nothing to do with tearing nobody down. This is fact. Those kids are going to be a lot worse off growing up in a household where they mama decided to have 12 of them in 2018 where shit is expensive as fuck. Like, the economy has even changed. For even anybody talking about they used to do this back in the day. And they also used to go and buy whole bags of candy and shit with a penny in the goddamn... You can't even go in the gas station with change and think you're going to come out of there with anything.
They also used to sell cigarette candy.
They did.
Used to be bubble gum.
They did. Like, it's just... that was just very crazy to me that they were kind of taking up for her. Like, that's irresponsible as fuck. No, that's not okay. And I feel like the Duggars, that was because I just don't think that when you get to a certain level of having a certain amount of, it's just not possible for you to give those kids the things that they're gonna need in order for them to be as successful as possible. Some shit gonna have to fall by the wayside because you only two people. If you even in a 2-parent home, even with 2 parents, it's only gonna be so much y'all gonna be able to do. It's parents who have 2 kids who be out here struggling and shit. I got a coworker that has 2 kids, that one in piano, one in gymnastics. Her and her husband are constantly either going to practices, going to recitals, taking them to shit on the weekend, and it's 2 kids, and they be about to be run down because they trying to give their daughters the most that they can give to them before they send them out in the world. That's with 2 kids. And you're not going to tell me that you would be able to give that same attentiveness and attention to a child who's one of 12. It's just not possible. It's irresponsible of you as a parent. And just as an adult, who the fuck want to be in a house with 12 fucking kids? My dogs get on my nerves. And they ain't even people. It's 2 of them. So I cannot imagine like 12 kids running around talking, fighting with each other. He hit me. She stepped on this. She got my shirt. Oh, Lord Jesus. No way.
Imagine having to have 2 dozen eggs for breakfast and 2 gallons of milk for chocolate milk, you know, and 2 whole boxes of cereal gone in one sitting.
Yeah.
You know, imagine how much turkey you got to buy and how many loaves of bread you got to have at one time.
And how long it take you to wash clothes? All them fucking clothes and shit. Like, just how long it would take you to do anything that normal people have to do on a regular basis when they have a household to manage. Like, it just sounds insane. And like, how do you transport all these fucking kids? What vehicle do you have? Because again, what's going to end up happening is the older kids going to have to watch the younger kids if you have to go do something that requires you to take a couple of the kids, because who the fuck else you going to get to watch them? And it's irresponsible too, because what happens if you die? If she dies, I'm gonna tell you right now, and I love my nieces and my nephews, there is no way in fuck. My brother got 9 kids one of my brothers. Ain't no way in hell I'll take in 9 kids. If both of them died, we gonna have to divvy up something. Those kids are gonna, in no way.
They going to foster care.
Yeah. Ain't nobody finna take that on. Nobody's gonna take that shit on because you crazy for doing it in the first goddamn place. So it's irresponsible in that regard as well. People, you ain't finna find no babysitter. Cause who the fuck finna do that? Not me. I'm not finna come to your house and babysit shit when you got, if you got more than 2 kids, I wouldn't babysit. 6 plus, out of your goddamn mind. Mm-hmm.
You gotta pay.
You gonna charge them per child?
Hell yeah, I'm getting $1,000 a sit. You better be able to pay.
But it's just like, I just wanted to, I guess, more so talk about how there's become this thing where it's like black women, some black women feel like we just gotta support each other no matter what. I ain't with the shits, okay? If you out here fucking up, you out here fucking up, and I'm not gonna give you a pass because you black. I'm gonna be harder on you because you black, because I know that despite the fact that we are not all the same, we are looked at as a goddamn group, and you out here fucking shit up for me doing this shit. So I'm not gonna give you no pass. I'm sorry, it's not how that works. Sorry. And you can feel like I'm, negative about it, whatever, but 12 kids is irresponsible, especially when you say and she sit up here and say the dads ain't involved, like I'm supposed to be like, them ain't shit niggas. No, bitch, you ain't shit. Why you keep everybody you get with, you have a baby with them? No, that's you ain't shit. You're not shit, ma'am. I'm not finna be like, girl, these men ain't shit out here. No, you ain't shit.
Listen, if somebody pulled a pen and hand you the grenade, might be their fault, but it's your goddamn problem. Okay? You need to figure that shit out.
If somebody pulled a pen and hand you a grenade. Basically, shot up the club and walk the fuck away. Deal with the aftermath. Because I guess she thought people were gonna be like, good for you. People got in her comments and was talking mad shit. That girl deleted her whole shit. But it's like, what did you think was gonna happen when you created this channel? Like, Did you really think people were gonna get behind you and be supportive? No. You're irresponsible and crazy. You obviously have your own issues that you have not addressed yet because you still doing it. And she's in her 30s with 12 kids. Pregnant with the 12th. She's pregnant with number 12.
I heard you.
1, 2. The fuck? You know what? She could use this cereal you bought.
I bought 38 boxes of cereal.
That'll last like
yesterday,
a week in her house.
She just pointed at them. Well, y'all can't see that. So
Yes, true.
I bought 38 boxes of cereal.
Cookies
yesterday.
cereal too.
Why did you buy that mini cereal, Mr. Point? Because they was $1, okay? Damn, I like cereal, okay? And I got a lot of little cousins, and you know what? I don't hang out with them, so I gotta buy they love with things, okay? And you know what? They gonna remember who bought them these Oreo O and Chips Ahoy cereal,
They're
cookie
all
cereal.
cookie cereal. They're vanilla wafers, Chips Ahoy, Oreo O's, Nutter Butter. They are literally all cookie
I got
cereal.
I'm gonna do cereal short reviews.
Oh,
Like, I'm gonna do reviews on the cereals.
to do
But I
it.
also got them cereal that come out on the holidays. There's some more in my cart. I got first off, I got peanut butter and Cocoa Pebbles. What I want to try those. I become infatuated with peanut butter cereal. They just delicious. And I got some of them blueberry cereal and the strawberry ones. I never had them
They
before.
cut the roof of your mouth up.
What?
They're done puffed it like they like what other cereal rough like this? I think corn puffs are kind of they that rough kind of. You'll see.
You
They,
eating your cereal wrong.
hey, how am I eating it wrong?
There's a lot of different ways to eat cereal.
I put just enough milk for it to be wet. I don't like a lot of milk.
That's why you messing up. You got to put a lot of milk with cereals that are hard. With Captain Crunch, you got to use extra milk. With Fruity Pebbles, you got to use half the milk you would use normally. They make a difference, girl. You eat cereal wrong. You doing it wrong.
First of all, I already can't have regular milk, and because I've had issues with milk my whole life, I never really I never acquired a taste for it. So like, I just need enough for the cereal to be wet. I'm not really trying to taste the milk. I
That's
don't
why
care
you
about the milk.
cerealing wrong. Because you don't even drink milk like
I
that.
don't at all. I don't like it.
Bad segue. Speaking of shooting the club up.
Oh my God! Horrible
what?
segue.
You the one that said that.
I didn't. But, God, go on.
You did it.
It's a terrible segue.
This is a very insensitive
It
episode.
really is. We sound like some assholes.
We do. California nightclub shooting survivor also survived the Las Vegas shooting. If y'all did not know, a shooting happened.
Well, there was one that survived both, and then there was one who survived Las Vegas and got killed at the California one.
This just a shooting. Dude came into a club and shot the club.
Basically.
I mean,
Did he have like smoke bombs and shit? Like
I
he
don't
threw
know.
in there? I feel like I read somewhere that he had smoke bombs for confusion.
I don't know. A lot of information ain't came out. They've been trying to keep some of this stuff under wraps.
This is on the heels of the synagogue. Actually, like it's just you can't go to church. You can't do shit. Can't go to mass. Can't go to the
Listen, you
synagogue.
do what you want to do. Okay, the only thing you should not do is hang around that dude that survived the Las Vegas shooting and this current shooting.
No, you do need to hang around him. He know how to get out. I want to be with
But
him.
they happening when he there. What are you talking about?
But I'm saying, if I'm gonna have to be somewhere where a shooting is gonna happen, I'd rather be there with somebody who know how to survive the shit. Cause he didn't survive twice.
No, I feel
buddy,
like he's lucky to have survived. I think he's very unlucky to have been in both of them.
the one who was unlucky is the one who survived Las Vegas and then got killed in California. Cause his mom was on TV and she
Neither
was like,
one of them is lucky.
"We just went through this when the Las Vegas shooting happened, and we were so grateful that he was alive." And then this shooting happened, same situation where because they were making people wait. You know, people that knew that their kids had gone out to that club were calling. The cell phones and stuff is still inside. So, like, they're pinging knowing that the phone is in there, but ain't getting an answer. And they were taking, like, so long to release the names of the deceased. And it was just a sad, sad situation. Like, all of these shootings are sad. It's just,
Yeah, it is.
it's just a lot.
And it's one of them crazy things because I guess it's hard. I don't know why it's so hard to see how Trump's rhetoric isn't emboldening all of these people. Like, people are saying that people are trying to defend him calling himself a nationalist, right? and they don't understand why. Like maybe they do understand that they just in defensive mode, but how can that be a problem? How is that a dog whistle? How is that a dog whistle to racist when he called himself a nationalist? Well, let's use a lateral example. If when Barack Obama was the president Barack Obama, if he said, "I'm a Panther because I'm strong and I'm resilient,"
They'd had a fucking field day with this shit.
just because you don't put Black Panther and black in front of Panther, don't mean that it would not embolden the Black Panthers. Okay, it don't mean that they wouldn't feel like they would feel like he's speaking to us.
Yep, they would.
That's what it would feel like.
Like the white nationalists feel like Trump was speaking to them.
Just because you don't want it to be racist and you want to find all of these, like there's a reason that
Patriot. He could have said he's a fucking patriot.
there's a reason that people don't use the word nationalist.
Yeah, because
And it's crazy that so many people come out to defend it when they know what. But see, that's just politics. Like that, bro, I'll be watching politics and it's just so masterful how they spin anything. They can spin anything to make it sense. That is that motherfucking Olivia Pope shit.
yep, it's handled.
Motherfuckers in Washington be doing that shit.
It's handled.
I'd be like, how you gonna spin this? And they spin and I'd be like, oh shit. He spent this bitch like the end of fucking Inception. Boop, spin the top.
This has nothing to do with this. But if I don't say it now, I'm gonna forget because I know you watch The Voice and like shows like that.
Yep.
You know, what's his name? Sean Perry. You need to.
Oh, that's a singer. That's a famous person?
He was on The Voice.
Oh, that's a contestant.
But he was on The Voice Australia, and he does voice looping where they make the music. He'll like make.
Oh yeah,
noises.
his first song was Prince.
When Doves
Cry. That was good.
He did Bohemian Rhapsody.
I've seen most of them. I don't think I saw Bohemian Rhapsody.
He did. It's amazing.
I don't think it was fair to let him be in the competition.
That's what Boy George was saying.
But considering that he won too.
And he won. That's what made you say it spin, and that made me think of DJ, and that made me think of that. But yeah, Boy George was going back and forth because he wanted him on his team, and when he picked Kelly Rowland. So what? On the one hand, Boy George was like, that's an unfair advantage. And so then when he started focusing more on singing and less on the voice looping, he was like, I feel like you're not being true to who you are. You're not doing the voice loop. Nigga, which one you want? You just told me last week I shouldn't do the shit because I got an unfair advantage. I do it less and you telling me I'm not being myself. Like, nigga, whatever. But
oh, yeah.
Yeah, the spinning, because I was just so amazed.
I seen that shit like 20 times.
I
posted a status on Facebook that said there's certain YouTube videos that I've watched an unhealthy amount of times. I'll be watching them videos over and over again.
That was amazing to me that he was, and he could sing. Like he could sing and not traditional. Like if he just entered the competition as just a singer without the voice loop, and he wouldn't have won. His voice wasn't that much. It wasn't that great, but combined with what he was able to do with it, amazing.
Yeah. I don't remember names like that, but
I just watched it.
These shows starting to piss me off because like winners from like 3 and 4 years ago still ain't got albums out.
Yeah,
like it's hard to find albums of these people.
Leah Janae from this,
she had albums already.
She's toured with like famous people. She already was doing stuff.
She's from the 4.
I hadn't seen nothing with the winner. What's his name? James Graham.
Yeah, that win was recent.
UK.
That win was recent. He getting some shit together.
But what's her name? Evie McKinney that won the first season ain't did nothing. But Zavia has a music video and a song out. Evie never put nothing out there. So. I'm sorry, I just derailed that whole conversation. What the hell I was talking. You were talking about politics and how they spin things, and then I got off onto a music. Oh yeah, they be spinning the shit out of stuff. What was the story? That was something you brought up.
No,
it was you talking about the shooting.
Oh yeah, that's right. I just think it's crazy that it's 2 people in that shooting that was at Vegas. One of them died, one of them survived.
If I were him, I wouldn't go to no more shit. Like anytime somebody call me about coming to any kind of nope. Every time I go somewhere, I get shot at. Nope.
How you gonna switch positions like that in the middle?
No, if I was him, I wouldn't go. But if he is gonna go, I want to be with him so I can survive.
That's a bad idea.
Why?
Because I think being with him gonna trigger a shooting happening. I don't think you need to
Ain't
be
nobody
like. I
trying
don't
to
think you
kill
should want to
him.
be in a shooting. I don't think you should want to be with him so you can survive something that you should want to not be in that thing. And I think,
Well, I said if I
statistically
have to
speaking,
be.
he is more likely for that shit to happen if you with him than anybody else in the world right now.
Apparently, him and the other dude that was in both. But I get California and Las Vegas are pretty close. That people go from California, they visit Vegas because it's not as far for them. So I think that's a pretty regular thing for like Californians to like do that, to like go between those two places because it's close. So
Yeah.
Las Vegas, it ain't like us going to Vegas from Bama. That's a trip. But from California, there it's not. You did that. You went from California to Vegas or Vegas to California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 45-minute flight.
So it's nothing. So for them, that shit, they just do that. So, I don't know how. I mean, I guess it's still statistically that's crazy that they both were at both. That's so fucked
Yeah.
up.
You know,
I wouldn't
it's
go nowhere else.
crazy.
I'd be scared.
It's crazy how nonchalant and callous we are about this dialogue because it's happened so many
At
times
this point, yeah.
that it ain't nothing different about it. Like, clearly when it's a white man, they say veteran, mental health, PTSD, which is what's going on with David Long. I think that's his name. If it's a brown person, if they black on black crime. If they are Middle Eastern, it's
terrorism.
terrorist. If it's a Latino, they shouldn't have been over here anyway. Build a wall. White people are the only people in our country that can get away with crime
You
and
get
it just
empathy.
mean
Oh,
nothing.
poor guy. He's suffering. He's
don't-
mental health.
Every brown person that commits some kind of heinous crime is going to be tied to some kind of political idea. Oh, let's stop and frisk, or let's ban Muslims, or let's build that wall. But when a white person does it, there is no legislative equivalent to what to do about those men. They fight against doing anything about guns.
Oh,
They
yeah.
say mental health in order to say that's why it ain't guns, but they never do anything about mental health.
Nope.
And so that it just perpetuates a white male being able to do whatever the hell he want to do and not be held accountable for it.
Basically.
You know, when Law and Order, I bet when Law and Order had an episode about school shootings, I'm sure it's gonna be a little white kid.
Yep.
You know, because them the only people doing school shootings, and they still not doing nothing to change anything.
Nope.
That's crazy. What else you got? We got 10 minutes.
I don't know if I had anything else that was even worth mentioning. Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade had a baby via surrogate, which you thought somebody said something about segregation, but she was just spelling surrogate.
Yeah, I saw a tweet that said Gabrielle Union didn't have a baby; she had a segregation, and I was like, "Is the person white?
She had
Is
a
the surrogate white?"
She had a surrogate. That person's just stupid, or either they stupid or they're
Doing it for the
autocorrect.
gram.
Oh, their
Nah, they do
autocorrect
that
got
for the
them.
gram. They be doing them little mistakes like that. They be doing that stuff on purpose.
Well, but so
I think.
Gabrielle Union has been very vocal about her, which is it's a slap in the face, but about her trouble conceiving because she's in her 40s, a child. She's had miscarriages, and the reason why I'm like it's a slap in the face is that during their break, D Wade had a baby real easy with his other girl, but they've had so much trouble. And what I like though is that they did this and didn't say shit. Like nobody knew that they were expecting a baby via surrogate until the baby got here. Like then neither one of them say not a goddamn
Clearly, you had a
thing.
privilege to do that when you don't carry the baby yourself.
Yeah, but can we do about Kim Kardashian having a baby because she told everybody, and so did Kanye. Like you can, some people don't keep it, even though anybody that has baby via surrogate can keep it if they want to, but people don't be wanting to. They want people to know. Gabrielle Union and D Wade didn't say shit. Now, for everybody who's seen this picture, people stupid. The picture of Gabrielle Union holding the baby and her in a hospital gown, because people was like, why she got on a hospital gown? She ain't had a baby. She wasn't actually pregnant. That's just going too far. Newborns need a lot of skin-to-skin contact to bond with their parents, okay? Even though she did not have that child, it is her child that she will be taking care of. So Having the skin-to-skin contact with the baby helps to build a bond between the two of them, considering it didn't come out of her uterus, okay? So, for anybody that's wondering why she got on a hospital gown and why they laid up in a hospital bed, it is because this is the time when they are making that bond with the child, and they have to do a lot of skin-to-skin contact in order to do that. If you've ever seen somebody give birth in a hospital or visited somebody, they have the little hospital gown on and the baby's laying up against the mom's bare chest or part of her chest a lot of time. It is not just for milk purposes. It is because babies require that skin-to-skin contact to start building that bond. And so even though she didn't give birth to the baby, in order for that to happen, she's doing the skin to skin as opposed to the surrogate doing it, because the surrogate ain't gonna keep the baby. So that's for anybody wondering why she had on a hospital gown. That's why, because they got a bond with this baby. But the baby, I think biologically is theirs. Like they took one of her eggs and his sperm and put it in this surrogate, and so the baby biologically is their child. Gabrielle Union just didn't carry the baby.
Interesting.
That's so freaky that that people can do that, but yeah. Just like what's her name? Or what was this last baby they had? Saint? No, Chicago. Chicago, the baby they had by surrogate. Chicago is biologically their child. Kim's egg, Kanye's sperm, just in another person. So that baby's, it's their baby.
I wonder how far back they go in terms of the surrogate they choose as history to see like what health issues or mental health. I wonder how far back they go. I mean, I wonder how much they get paid. I
would imagine quite a bit. I know I'm sure all the medical bills surrounding the baby is paid for by the parents. But I don't know how much they would make as a fee for doing it. Better be a whole fucking lot. 9 months of that shit. Shit. I better be paid enough to not have to work the rest of the year.
I done had this diabetes while I had y'all damn kid in me, and now
gestational diabetes.
Yeah, like hell no. Some people get gestational allergies and shit.
You can get all kind of shit when you're pregnant. Like it just fuck up your whole shit. Like you just don't even know. Going into the shit, you have no idea. Even from baby to baby, you don't know. You might have had this with your first baby and don't have it with your second. Or your first baby might have been smooth sailing and you have to be hospitalized because you can't keep nothing down with the second baby the whole pregnancy because you're vomiting out. Like you just never know. You just don't know.
You about to squeeze a human out of you like toothpaste.
Not quite like toothpaste, but I feel like toothpaste though, the toothpaste is gonna mold to the tube, the vagina mold to the baby. That the baby not the other way around. That shit has to stretch out.
The baby Jello.
The baby not quite Jello. They still got a shape and a form and
with gelatin. When
them shoulders and shit be coming out, I want to, and it's so crazy.
They made bones. They just made an earlobe.
I have such a horrible baby fever, but I just want a baby. Like I don't want to have it.
I don't think you even want a baby.
I do want a baby.
How you gonna? You know you spend a lot of time trying to keep little thing alive.
Yeah.
You okay with that?
Yeah.
You know you can't put them in the cage when they do get all over the place.
I know. Oh, that's gonna be hard. Cause like with the dogs, I just be like, get your ass in there and leave him there. But like, I can't do that with a kid. But I feel like I'm gonna feel different because it's like the dogs I chose. The baby is like, it's me. Just like half of my shit. I made this. Like I feel like I'm gonna be like, look at this shit I made. Look at this.
And then when they turn 12, you're gonna be like, damn, look at this fucking shit I made. You're just like me.
You just act just like me.
Sarcastic.
Oh, smart ass mouth. Yep.
I feel like if my kid be like me in that regard, I don't really feel like I can discipline him for it. I'm just gonna be like, listen, kid, I'm gonna discipline you because your sarcasm ain't good enough yet. You gonna not get disciplined for your sarcasm, but you gonna get disciplined because it's shit. Get your game up. When you have me saying, God damn, then you ain't getting in trouble. You perfecting your craft, okay? I feel like that's what I'm gonna do because I just want you to be the best version of me you can be. And I ain't finna punish your sarcasm because I need you to work on that shit. I need people to feel the heat.
It's an art. It's an art. It takes practice. You got to. Yeah. They got to work on it. I feel like my kid is definitely, just because as much as I know when you have a kid, you kind of alter some of the things you say or whatever. I'm not going to alter it to the point where my kid is not going to be like, and my mama. Like, I know that that's going to probably be something I'm going to have to deal with, is the level of sarcasm that my kid is probably going to have. I'm prepared to deal with it. I am. But it's going to, I do foresee them being 12 and me being like, damn, they could have just, you had all the shit to take from me. You had to take this smart ass mouth. You couldn't go intelligence, anything else besides this shit. Damn. So it'll be an interesting, but yeah, but the idea of pushing a human out of me is really still not. I'm really interested in like an elective C-section. And I know that a C-section, it requires a lot more healing time, but they just cut you open and pull the baby out. And I kind of feel like that'd be better. Just go on in there and get him out, stitch me back up, and let's keep it moving. I much rather prefer to do that than to be in labor for 36 hours. The fuck kind of shit is that? What? Just go in there and get him out. Just take him out.
Not good.
I'm cool with that. I'll heal. I will heal. I would much prefer that than the traditional way. Sounds god awful and icky.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Women shit on themselves when they have a baby. You know that?
Yep. Like 78% chance.
Because it feels like you have to pass a bowel, and so because you're pushing down using the same shit, I'll just come out together. I don't want to shit on myself in front of people. I don't want to do that.
Horrible.
Sounds terrible. We need to figure out another way to get babies here that don't require all of that. It's too much.
You know, it's I don't remember the percentage chance of the space between your vagina and your ass.
The taint, that's not the
ripping.
Like, the medical term, but taint.
The perineum.
Yeah. Perineum. Yeah, your vagina can rip. They have to get a stitch. Like, women have to get that. Some women have to get it stitched because it rips, it tears. Like, it stretches too much and it tears.
I know. Whatever.
This is why I don't understand parents. Like, I feel like my kids are gonna get tired of me because when they are 12 being smart, you know my shit got ripped getting you here, and you really finna do this right now? You really finna act like this right now? Do you know what all the shit I went through to get your ass here? Okay? It wasn't pleasant. I shit on myself. Did I ever tell you that about your birth? You came out with a pile of shit. You know how embarrassing that was for me? And you want to sit up here and act like you ain't got no goddamn sense after what I went through to get your little black ass here? Not okay.
Hell no. I wouldn't do that. I will pull rank though. I've been right down to him, looking dead in the eyes. Listen, in terms of hierarchy, you used to live in my balls, brother. I'm number one. You number two. Okay? And that's gonna be until the day I die. Let's get that straight, okay?
Oh, you used to live in my balls. I feel like that's just as bad as me being like, my shit got ripped for you to get here.
No, I'm not using it as a shaming method.
It ain't a shame. Obviously, I didn't mind. I got you here. I love you. My point is, be fucking grateful.
No, because if it's not for shame leverage, you only got one time to do it. Because once they know that information, but you make it sound like every time they talk crazy, this is gonna be the dialogue you get to them.
Yes,
that's shaming leverage. Using that to shame that motherfucker.
I don't have you used to live in my balls. They live in I mean, you was in my belly. I don't have an equivalent of that. So I'm gonna have to use I went through a lot. And I don't mind going through it, but what I'm not finna do is deal with this shit. We not gonna do this. We not gonna do this. We gonna have to figure something else out, but this ain't gonna be it. I did not endure all of this time for you to come out here.
See, this is what I feel like I would do. I would give that speech, but but I would connect that speech that one time to a shortened version. I'd be like, listen, I'm number one, you number two. I'm number one, you number two. 1 2 1 2. So now for the rest of his life, I'm gonna just be like, hey, 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2. Don't have to get that whole speech again. He know what it mean.
Okay, friends gonna be like, why your dad always saying that?
I used to live in his balls. Shit. Nah, he'll probably be like, I don't even need to know.
Man, he crazy. Yeah, he ain't gonna explain that shit. He is not gonna explain that shit.
Yeah, that way I ain't gotta do that no more. It's 1 2 1 2, brother. I'm number one, you number two. And you know why.
Oh my God.
Anyway, you got anything else on your mind? Well, we done.
I don't. I think we've said quite a few.
Yeah, we said a lot of shit. We were insensitive.
Very.
Sorry, not sorry. Really, I don't know. I ain't really ashamed of nothing I do. Even if I do it wrong. But anyway, until we come to the next conversation,
We out.
holla.